Oh, hey. Hey, will you look at that? Apparently I'm live. I'm alive. Where's my kitties? There's a good little Jammy Dodgers. It's kitty o'clock. It's kitty o'clock and all is well. How did that move over? You're supposed to be in the corner. There we go. Yes, I am also alive. Not just the stream, but also me, the person. Very exciting for everybody, I'm sure. What's CPLP? I don't know what that is. Oh, it's couch potato. Duh. Brain did not connect there. Because I just think of couch potato as being couch potato. Welcome, couch potato. Welcome, sassy dog mom. Welcome, love me some sparkle. Look at you coming in early. Holy heck. Sylvia, Mr. Husky, welcome, welcome. I hope y'all are ready for some serious swatching because I have like 60, I think. I think exactly 60 polishes to swatch. It's a lot. It's gonna be a lot, y'all. It's gonna be so much. I do also have a backup cat in here with me. I have Budgie Smuggler in here as well. She's chosen not to be on in one of the areas that I can easily hook up the cam for. But if she decides to move to a different area, you may get a chance to also see Budgie Smuggler. I'll tell you what, y'all. I'm still tired. I am still tired from Chicago. It was a great time. Yeah, backup cat. Listen, Budgie Smuggler, that poor girl, she was also my discount cat, okay? So when we got Jammy Dodgers, I'm not going to get into all the... Some of y'all already know about my ex and some of his interesting ideas about how things should happen. Suffice it to say, we were going to a breeder for Jammy Dodgers specifically, and Jammy's breed is one that when you're breeding for a Scottish fold, you don't get a whole litter of Scottish folds, at least not if you're doing things responsibly. You get a mixed litter, and so she had, I think it was her dad was a fold and her mom was a munchkin. And so in the litter, it was like some folds, some munchkins, some munchkin folds, and some just very ordinary cats. And the ordinary cats, which is what Budgie is, if you were getting one of the fancy cats, you could get a discount on the ordinary cat. so Budgie was my discount cat. And so she's kind of been like all her life. She's the discount cat. Now she's the backup cat. She's like, and she's just an absolute delight. Like, I love her so much. And she's healthy as a horse. Like, she has had zero health issues throughout her life. Jammy has cost me a goddamn fortune at the vet over her 14 and a half years or whatever it is now. Budgie Smuggler, never, nothing. Just vaccinations, tooth cleanings, very normal things. But, yeah. Oh my goodness. You're already jealous reading the title. Welcome, Ashley. Okay, anyway. That's why Budgie gets relegated to the backup. Okay, should we get into this? Because there's so much to get through. I feel like we really need to, like, just go crazy. So first thing, I think what I want to do is, hang on. Let me just, oh, oh, oh. I can't show you the back row. I can't quite get to it. There's more back there. There's 2 more rows that way. 2 more rows that way. So that's how much we have to swatch today. 60 polishes. We're going to try and go fast. I'm going to start with the VIP bag, okay? So I'm just going to move my purchases out of the way first, and then we'll get to the VIP bag. Gotta organize it some way. You pretend not to see any of these. You're recovering from PBE. You actually, Mr. Husky, I have to tell you, I was very impressed with how restrained you were with your purchases. Like, you went in there with a budget and a plan, and you did it, and you made some great choices. Whoop. Bum, 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 bum. You're ready like you weren't there a few days ago? Yeah. I'm so sad that I didn't get to, like, hang out with more people for more of the time. It was really nice being able to see the people that I did manage to see. But yeah, it was like, there's so many humans. So many humans. Yes, Husky also was offering to be a fairy. I ferried for one person, and that was all I could manage. I was like, I know this was my second year doing PBE, and I was like, there's no way I'm ferrying for more than one person. And like, one person, one table, you got to have a list, because I can't. It's too much. Ashley, stop it. You're very sweet, but also stop it. Yes, Scottish folds are notorious for joint issues. If I knew then what I know now, if I had been given the correct information 14 years ago, 14 and a half years ago, I would not have gotten Jammy Dodgers. But I have no regrets. I love her. Yeah, it's expensive. It's expensive going to PBE. Like, the whole thing is expensive. The flights, and like, I was splitting a hotel room 3 ways, and it's just a lot of money to spend. It's like my one vacation for the year, though, right? Like, we don't really go places. Okay. I'm going to just very briefly show you what else was in the bag, in the VIP bag that I got. So it came with this little plastic thingy. This is for opening cans. I got the exact same thing last year, but last year it was blue. Or at least mine was. And I use this all the time for opening cans. It's really, really good. I love it. So I'm happy to have a second one of those. Sticker, little oof button. Same thing as last year. They also do in the VIP bag, this was the same as last year, a $10 gift card, but I didn't realize last year that it actually expires. It's a gift certificate, not a gift card, even though it's a card form factor. So yeah, they do expire. And so you actually have to use it. I can't remember how long it's good for, but last year I accidentally let mine expire because I didn't realize that it had an expiration date. There's also these, I think these are nail stickers, and there was the same thing last year and I didn't use it. Yeah, it's a sticker, not a water slide. But yeah, I never used them. I think I gave them away, actually, because I don't really use nail stickers. And then this is actually the thing I was most excited for of the non-polished things, because I've been wanting a cylinder magnet, and I think the cat's paw thing is pretty darn cute. Hey, Sonia, welcome. Yeah, most brands do have overpours. So like, a lot of the stuff that I have here, even if it was PBE exclusives, a lot of the stuff will actually be available. It's just that the exclusives will be, more limited in the amount. But you know, most of the stuff, it's things that are just going to be in their stores, and so anybody will be able to get them pretty easily. Okay, so I kind of went sort of alphabetical. Yeah, I wish someone had told me last year. I had no idea. Oh, and I also did, my polish portion of my VIP bag is missing a few because I destashed, I think, like 4 or 5 polishes from the VIP bag. Just immediately I was like, these are definitely not for me. Like sometimes you just, you know, you look at a polish and you're like, yeah, I'm literally never going to wear that. I actively dislike this color and style and whatever. And so just going to go ahead and destash right away. Well, there's a bunch of people there that someone might want one. So first up I have Borev Skyline Breeze. This one is labeled as a VIP exclusive. So I don't know if that, I assume that means that if there is overpour, it will be quite limited in quantity. It is a ridiculously cute magnet. How much was VIP? Oh gosh. I don't recall. I don't recall how much it was. It was not cheap though. Yeah, I don't remember. I can't even give you a ballpark. I don't remember. Next up is Bluebird Meet Me in Chicago. And this one, you know, I don't normally go for purples so much, but this does have a nice orange shimmer and some hollow flake in it. So I felt like it was one of those that might appeal to me once I saw it on. There's like, you know how I am with purples. I'm just very picky with them. And sometimes there are purples that I actually do end up liking. So the ones that I thought might appeal to me on swatching, I went ahead and kept for now. And then we'll see how I feel about them after I've swatched them on my nails. Next up I have by Danny Vienna, or I don't know if it's Danny or Danny. I've heard it both ways. All great things started with a dream, Willie. This is also supposed to be a VIP bag exclusive. You traded in the KB Shimmer line? Yeah. We were, so I think I managed to offload 1 or 2 things while I was in line to even get in, and then got rid of some others afterward. Like after shopping, just hanging out in the table area. I think I offloaded 4 there. The next one is a magnetic. I'm excited about this one. This is Cleaned Nocturnal Grove is what this one's called. And it does have a purple pull, but the base seems to be like a sort of a tealy kind of color. So I'm just going to see what this does. And if I don't like the way this magnetizes that first coat, then I'm going to get a different magnet. It's kind of a weird way to magnetize, but next up I have Cupcake Polish Summer in Chicago. Your husband felt bad when you told him it was PBE weekend? Yeah, no, it's true. Like you could do so much with the amount it costs to do PBE. And like I really feel like if you are on anything like a budget and you have like people who have kids or are in school or anything like that, like unless you can literally drive there that day and drive home that evening, it would be crazy, I think. Okay, someone might need to explain this to me. I don't know if this is like a Chicago thing or a Danglefoot thing or something else. This from Danglefoot, it says it's called Ranch. I heard someone say that they thought it might refer to the way people from Chicago say ranch, but I don't know. That sounds kind of crazy to me. My husband spent a lot of time in Chicago and has a fair bit of Midwest accent, and I've never heard him say anything vaguely like ranch, so I don't know. Don't know if I buy that. Sassy, you think you would do the polish making workshop and not buy anything in the lines? Yeah. That could be fun. Next up, we have the Garden Path Lacquer's Golden Hour in the Garden. And this one, I immediately was like, ooh, this looks interesting. It's a very sparkly looking hollow. Definitely like a scattered hollow more than a linear style, but very, very sparkly. So, and you know I love a yellow. So hopefully this one, it looks like it's going to build up nicely in 2 or 3 coats. It's a good color too. It's how dinosaurs say ranch. Ranch! Maybe. Yeah, Husky, because you were able to drive in and back same day. It makes sense. VIP was 130 plus tax. That sounds normal and right. So, like, if you can afford it, sure. It's a lot of polish that you get. It's well worth it in terms of, you know, if you like even half the polishes, you've gotten a bargain. But it's still a lot of money. You forgot to add the Atomic Butter Yellow to your list. Oh, God. I didn't even make it to the Atomic table, which was just as well because, oh boy, was I ever tempted by all of their pastel neons. And guess what I do not need right now in my life is more neons. This is Glisten and Glow Mint to Be in Tinley Park. And I almost destashed this one right away. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to give it a chance. I'm not typically a big fan of hex glitters and not a fan of hex glitters in Crellies, but it's been a while since I've tried something like that, and oof, yeah, that's gonna get destashed. Sorry, Glisten and Glow. It's just not my thing. Yeah, the 1 hour early shopping window, I fully agree. So worth it, especially like, so for me, I struggle in crowds. Not as much as some people I know. I know people who have a harder time than I do. I'm able to sort of psych myself up for it so that I can do okay for a certain amount of time. But it's hard for me to spend a lot of time in a big crowd. And the bigger the crowd, the tighter the space, the more difficult it is. And so for me, being able to have that VIP hour where it's just a little bit less crowded, makes a big difference. So I don't feel like super anxious right away. This one's Jen and Barry's There Must Be Dusk in My Eye. Jen and Barry's, I gotta say, they have, I didn't really notice Jen and Barry's too much for the first couple of years that I was doing, that I was buying indies. They just didn't quite catch my attention for a long time. And I think it's Neon Noir Nails' fault, Ruby, for those of you who know her from Discord. I think it's her fault that Jen and Barry's is more and more on my radar these days. I think the crowds were a little bigger this year. Yeah, you can't, it's hard to do with a kid as well. And I agree. I think the VIP is really only worth it if you plan to do like mega shopping. J&B is blowing up. You're trying the Coffee Crisp Ray gave you? Coffee Crisp is the best, my dude. Yes, I got my Canadian snacks from Ray. We've already finished 1 bag of ketchup chips. I have the second bag in the cupboard downstairs. waiting, and we're not going to touch it until we get desperate. Like, it's probably going to be at least a month or two before that second bag gets opened. But the coffee crisp, I only have 1 bar left. She gave me 4 bars. I did give 1 to Sneak, though, to Polish Bookworm. Sorry, I'm used to calling her Sneak. KB Shimmer, this is Park Right Here, which I guess is a reference to Tinley Park. Yeah, Ruby has been really selling me on a lot of the Jen and Barry's stuff. This is interesting. It's definitely like gold. Looks, but it's like green shimmer. I don't know. It's a warmer gold, but it's got a green shimmer. I don't know how I feel about this yet, but we'll see once it's built up. Lurid, the Prairie State. I feel like I have a couple of polishes that are like this sort of prugly green with purple. More that are with red or orange shimmer, but a couple that are with a purple shimmer. That one's probably going to build up real nice. Joy of missing out. Yeah. Lynn B, not easy being Sphene. I'm not sure what Sphene is. If anybody knows what Sphene is, the only thing I can think of is that it's short for phosphine, but I don't think that that's it. Speaking of prugly greens with red and orange shimmers, this one's an orange. Next up is Monarch Peer Pressure, and I don't know about this one because it's got some weird stuff going on that's living possibly in the corner that leans a little bit too purpley at certain angles. It's definitely like an orange base, but it's got oh shit, there's a hair in there. God damn it. All right, well, I guess that's just staying there. Friggin' cat hair. Yeah, it's like an orange base, but it has blue, like those super glowy blue flakes in it. So I don't know how I'm going to feel about it once it's all built up. We shall find out. This one's interesting. Penelope Luz, I don't know. Mystic Knight. Kind of reminds me a little bit of a real dark lion. Bee's Knees lacquer lion, not other lions. Not actual lions. In case anybody is confused about that. Although I feel like with this crowd, y'all know exactly what I mean when I say lion. Najwa, welcome. Hello. When you met up with Sneak, you totally didn't know how to refer to her or how to introduce yourself? Yeah, I fully get that. Listen, I know somebody from Discord who actually came to my house with her partner one time. She was passing through, and I literally could not remember her actual name. It's just like, yeah, come on over. We're having, come for lunch, blah, blah, blah. We'll feed you when you're on your way through. And yeah, no, just, I could not remember her actual name, just her handle. I love that for me. This one is Red Eyed Lacquer. Get your coins ready. Google said it's Titanite. That doesn't help me at all, Ashley. Sphene is a gemstone? Okay. A yellow-green gemstone. Well, I guess that makes sense for the name of it then. I had no idea. Cool. This one's kind of pretty, eh? A little lavender. And then Sassy Sauce Chi Town Swagger. A lion cousin twice removed? Yeah. Yeah, kinda. I agree. Also reminded you of a lion sib? Yeah. I mean, it's the, it's got like a purpley reddy. I think the lion shimmer is a little more red than purple, although I could be wrong about that. And the big or sort of, medium size hollow flake. So I feel like it's, that's kind of all it takes in my head to be basically lion adjacent. This one's nice. That one, I'm going to like that one once it's built up for sure. Guaranteed. Swamp Gloss The Chronic. I don't know if that's a drug reference or something else. Apparently this one's glow in the dark. Which I'm probably not really going to be able to show you because my lighting here is not going to be amenable to that. But let me just pop it under the desk and see if I can tell what color it glows. Green. It's going to glow green. Whoop, that's not where that goes. That goes over there. This goes over there. This one's cute. Tyler's Trinkets, Big City Dreams. This one looks real pretty. It's just hollow, I think. Actually, you know what? It might be multicolored glitters instead of hollow, or as well as hollow. Unclear. Your nickname from soccer turned into your real name for a lot of families of your teammates? Yeah. Well, yeah, I know chronic is pot, Bonket. I am aware. I'm just not sure if that's what they're referring to or if they mean something else. Like, is it just a pot reference, or is it like, nail polish is pot, or I don't know. Don't know if they're trying to do something there. And then I also have, so this was the meet and greet. So this was not in the VIP bag. This was the meet and greet exclusive polish, but I figured I'd just swatch it out on the VIP swatch wheel. So meet and greet, Tinley Meet Again is the name of the polish. You like the polish more because of the name? It's valid. That happens sometimes. Kids got tryouts. Oh my God. Tryouts in 90 degrees heat. No, thank you. There is nothing I want to try in 90 degrees aside from like going indoors. That's what I want to try. I want to try escaping from 90 degrees. Thank you very much. But I'm glad you could pop by, Ashley. Okay. So that's it for first coat of those. And I am just going to go ahead and go straight into the second coat. I know everybody wants to see the purchases as well, but I don't want to have that many polishes on my desk at the same time. It's going to get a little too chaotic. So I think it'll be better if I at least do 2 coats. And then, I may or may not want a 3rd coat. But I think if I just do 2 coats, it'll probably be good enough to kind of give people an idea. For a couple of these too, I think I want to actually put like a little bit of black behind here. Let me just, because I have a feeling I'm going to want to be able to see what some of these are a little on the sheer side. I'm going to want to see what they look like over a dark color. So, and this is definitely one of them. Just going to do a little 1 stroke there. This one seems like it could potentially be fun for like to use as a topper or in Shimmer Stamp Witch. I think that could be good for that. So that's 2 coats of Bow Rev Skyline Breeze. And then next up is Bluebird Meet Me in Chicago. Yeah, at your age, it could be chronic pain. Same, Sylvia. Everything hurts all the time. I'll tell you what, I am still, like, my whole body is like, why did you do that to me? The Chicago trip. I was, there were 3 of us sharing the tiniest room, and we thought that it was going to be a 2-bed, a room with 2 beds. And it was originally only supposed to be 2 of us sharing the room. But then we ended up having a 3rd person that needed to join us, and it turned out that the room only had 1 queen-size bed. And I was like, I'm not, we can't. We simply cannot. So I went to Target and picked up an air mattress, which then got donated at the end. We were like, yeah, this is the only way this is going to work. And it was reasonably comfortable, but it was not my bed. So my body is complaining. And also, you know, carrying a heavy backpack and doing all that travel stuff is always rough. So that's the second coat of By Danny Vienna. All great things started with a dream, Willie. Not a dream, Willie. It's important to note that there is a comma between dream and Willie. So it's not all great things started with a dream, Willie. It's all great things started with a dream, Willie. Just to be clear, I just want to make sure everyone understands. I feel like that method of magnetization was not super useful for this polish, so I'm just going to go back to my regular bar for this, which is what I normally do with my swatch sticks, for my second coat of Nocturnal Grove from Cleaned, or as they call themselves, Cleona. It's okay. They're Canadian, not Gaelic. You did a magnetic peekaboo, Manny. That's exciting. Did you post it anywhere? Can I see it, Sylvia? Oh, Sassy, I'm so sorry that your dog is putting things on the floor for you. Great things can start with a dream, Willie. I'm not saying great things can't start with a dream, Willie. Okay, Sonyo? I just want to be clear that this polish isn't saying that. If you and I want to say that, we understand each other. But this polish is not saying that. Cupcake, Summer in Chicago, second coat. I do really like that clean out, though. I feel like I probably will like it better with the ring magnet than with velvet, because the velvet is going to be very purple forward, which is not always my favorite, but I will try it with the velvet. Kat, you're here. You're still a mess. I was going to ask how you're doing. Travel can be rough, for sure. This one is Danglefoot Ranch. I don't know what the hell. But I think since somebody suggested dinosaur, I don't remember who suggested dinosaur saying ranch, but somebody did in here. And that's what I'm going with. Going with dinosaur saying ranch is ranch. Ranch! Garden Path. You're too afraid... Sylvia, you're too afraid to post your manicures on Instagram? Well, I don't think there's anything to be afraid of, but, I'm sorry. But you could also just, you know, DM it to me if you wanted. That's an option if you don't want to show other people, but you would like to show me. You also aren't obligated to show me anything you don't feel like showing me. It's completely fine. Oh, I wanted to put black under ranch as well. This is the Garden Path Golden Hour in the Garden, and as I suspected, oh boy, I really like that. That's very pretty. I'm going to have to compare that. I've got a couple of things I want to compare that with. but probably not today because we have way too much to get through. I am going to put black underneath this danglefoot. There we go. Yeah. That'll top her nicely. So that's 2 coats over top of the black. So with 1 coat, it'll be more flake and shimmer and less sort of cloudy. I think that would be quite nice. I'll do a second coat of, what is it? Mint to be in Tinley Park. But yeah, I'm definitely destashing this one. This is not... Ugh. I don't love hex glitters. I don't love hex glitters, and I especially don't love hex glitters in a Crelly. They just look like vomit to me, y'all. I'm sorry. Especially in a Crelly, it just looks like barf. It's a pretty color, which is why I didn't destash it immediately. I was like, maybe if I try it, I'll like it, because I like the base color, and I do like that shade of hot pink, especially as like an accent. So I hoped that maybe I would like it more than I liked it in the bottle, but I definitely don't. So I will be for sure destashing that one. This is the Jen and Berries. There must be dusk in my eye. Yes, there must be dusk in my eye. That one's real cute. Second coat of KB Shimmer Park Right Here. This one's definitely more like, I don't know. It's a little prugly, eh? It's like sort of champagne-y, but like with the green, and I don't know. I'm not sure how to describe that. It's kind of a weird polish. I'm not mad at it though. I think I kind of like it. I'm not sure if I'm going to like it on me, but I kind of like it. Gonna have to try it on my actual nail to make a final decision on that one. It is a juicy one for sure. Hi Daphne, welcome. You spooked the bird away because the cat looked like it was going to pounce. Jamie is doing a little stretch. What are you doing? Oh, she's gonna move up to the other. She might just be moving to a different sleeping spot. So if she settles down where she's jumped up to, then I can adjust the camera to show her there. So this is the second coat of Lurid, the Prairie State. I feel like I would probably wear that one in 3 coats. It looks like it's got a little more VNL than I usually love for a green. I find I'm pickier with greens and blues. I want less visible nail line with greens and blues. I don't know why. Lynn B, Not Easy Being Sphene, which we have now learned is a kind of green-yellow gemstone. I learned something. The cleaned one keeps catching your eye? Yeah, it's a nice one. All right, I'm going to turn the camera a little bit here. You see the little trillium thing on the wall behind Jammy Dodgers right now? That's a little quilted, thread painted fabric art piece that my mom made that is based on a painting that I did when I was a teenager. So she took one of my old pieces, one of my old oil paintings, and did fiber art of it, which I thought was very cool. It's one of my favorite things that my mom has made. Okay, this one is Monarch Peer Pressure. This is definitely going to be something that if I end up liking it, it will be in 3 coats, would be my guess. It is fairly sheer. I think I'm going to put a little black underneath this though and just see whether or not it has maybe some shimmer stamp witch capabilities. Flakes can sometimes be a bit much. Interesting. Definitely enhances the blue blurple glow when you put black behind it, which is not surprising. Could be interesting. Could be interesting. Definitely gonna have to try that out with like on the nail. Sylvia, really enjoy ordering from Lurid. The owner made your first purchase such a positive experience. Karen is lovely. She's been so sweet, and yes, I love her polish. I like her formula a lot. Some of them are a little more sheer than I prefer, but not like, it never feels like it wasn't on purpose. You know what I mean? Like, some polishes are sheer and you kind of feel like, is that actually what you were going for? Because they don't necessarily apply super well, but hers always apply nicely enough that you can like do them. You can leave them sheer and not build them up to opacity or put an undie under them and have them actually just look smooth and lovely. So that one's Penelope Lowe's Mystic Knight. That's the one that definitely vibes like a lion sibling. I like that one a lot. That one's definitely staying. Red-Eyed Lacquer, get your coins ready. This one is interesting because I don't necessarily always love a super like pastel lavender, but I really like with the sort of soft green gold shimmer that it has. I like that combo. That's a cute one. It's a nice spring polish for sure. And it kind of has, I think you could almost do like something wintry because it kind of has almost frosty vibes. Sassy Sauce Chi-Town Swagger. My mom sounds amazing. You've met my mom. I assume, if you know how amazing she is. She is. She's very multi-talented and extremely creative. Does some really beautiful fiber art stuff. I am gonna put, because this is definitely potential topper town here. I'm gonna put a little black underneath this one. There, just a little section there. Oh yeah, that's what I figured. That red shimmer automatically takes over, but it's nice you can still see the flake in there. Sometimes some flakes kind of disappear when you put them over black like that, but these ones, the orange flake pops a little more. Cool. Swamp Gloss, the Chronic. You miss my mom coming on stream and claiming my polish? She's finally getting her polish. I think this week Ray is supposed to stop by her house and drop off all that polish that she claimed last fall, I think it was. She was coming on my streams and demanding that I hand over some of the polish to her, which is fine. It was cute. I usually give my candies to my husband as well. Oh my God. You gave him what you thought was candy, but it was a little plastic pineapple and he bit right into it. That's amazing. Yeah, I give most of my candy to my husband as well, just because I simply can't be trusted with that much candy. It's better if it just goes away. He can kind of pace himself and be somewhat reasonable, but I will just eat all of it instantly. Okay, so that's the second coat of Big City Dreams, and I do think that I would probably put a third coat of that because it is just a little bit sheer, and I do prefer like black jelly or crully polishes to end up fully opaque for me personally. I mean, I understand like you have to have, it's a thing if you're going to have like hollow and flakes and stuff, you really can't have them be too, you can't have the base be too opaque or it just obscures all that. So you do have to have that translucency to it. But I would definitely put 3 coats for wear on that Tyler's Trinkets. It's got really nice, it's definitely a combination. Like parts of it are hollow, but parts of it are definitely like, it looks like maybe shifty, but not full hollow. Like small hex glitters. And then we'll finish off here with the Meet and Greet polish. This was the KB Shimmer, what was it? Tinley Meet Again. Which definitely has, every time I read it, puts that one song in my head that I'm probably the only person in the chat that is old enough to know the song or would be likely to. But it's Till We Meet Again. But yeah. I don't know if that's just me. Seems like maybe a little bit patchy there. Might do a third coat on that because it seems like it's just a touch patchy. But it might just be how I applied it on the swatch wheel. It can be a little challenging sometimes. Okay, so that's 2 coats of everything from the VIP bag that I got and didn't immediately destash. And then we can move on to my purchases. Point out the Chronic polish again. This one here. So this green, that's the Chronic. So it is still a little translucent in 2 coats. I don't know if you'd quite get all the way to full opacity with a third coat. You might. But certainly most of the time, like when the flakes, it's one of those ones where when the flakes are visible, it kind of obscures most of the visible nail line. So yeah, and it looks like kind of orange to purple shifty flakes, and then it's got those smaller, they look like multichrome blue purple flakes, I would say, the darker ones. Maymay, hello, welcome. I did not see you come in. Yes, Ray is absolutely the sweetest polish and treat fairy. It was very, very kind of her. You realized you also got that one, the Chronic one? Cool. Yeah, I feel like I might like it more with an undie, but I also would try it in 3 coats. I do think it's a pretty color. I like the color combo. All right, I'm going to take all of my VIP polishes off of my desk. And then we'll start bringing in the purchases. I feel like I don't even know if I can fit all of my purchases on my desk at the same time. I might just have to do them in shifts. Maybe I can. We'll see. Oh, stop it. You're fine. Here, just focus on this, okay? My camera doesn't like it when it's just a blank white. I have them like semi-alphabetically on the floor here, so. Rogue really got me more than I intended. I was like fully intending to get like 1 or maybe 2 rogues, and I ended up getting like 5. which, like, it's fine. It's not like it's a huge, ridiculous amount or anything, but it was more than I had planned, I'll tell you that much. Kathleen as well managed to get me for more than I intended. But Clean had made up for it by not having some of the polishes that I had intended on buying. So I ended up with fewer Clean Ed polishes than I was planning to buy, and more of some others. All right. Hey. I'll put that kitty up there. Being next to Lurid for so long waiting for Jen and Berries was dangerous? Yeah, that makes sense. Ah. Okay. Where did I put the... Oh, they're here. So... This is... Okay, so that one's Beau Rev, and I marked them all up ahead of time so that I don't have to do it as I go along. So this is actually... I'm going to be swatching it with the Beau Rev, but it was actually part of a duo. So they did this last year as well, Monarch and Beau Rev, because they used to be... for anybody who doesn't know, I suspect everyone here does, but just in case, they used to be Fair Maiden polish, and then they decided to split off into two separate brands because they each kind of had their own vision they wanted to explore. They're still good friends, and they do a bestie duo every year for PBE. And so I got last year's as well, and I really liked the Monarch in particular for this year. But it was just funny because I think last year I liked the Beau Rev slightly better than the Monarch, and this year I like the Monarch better than the Beau Rev, but they're both fantastic polishes. But anyway, so I'm going to be swatching them with their brands, but they are part of a duo that you could not get separately. Okay. So this is Flip Flop Fever is the name of Beau Rev's half of the bestie duo. Not a color I would necessarily typically go for, but certainly something that I occasionally will pull out for, usually for like collabs and stuff. Sometimes I need some nice fairy-like delicate colors in pinks and whatnot. Okay, this one is Ocean Eyes. This was a monthly mystery. And I don't typically buy mystery polishes. I will occasionally, but which is why I don't have any of the Beau Rev monthly mysteries. But then I often find that I end up seeing them later and going, "Ooh, I wish I'd gotten that one." So yeah, I was glad to be able to pick this one up at least. And you're gonna see a bit of a trend that I'm sure will be extremely surprising to everyone here. That many of these polishes are going to be suspiciously teal or greenish, bluish range colors. I'm sure that'll come as a huge shock, but this one is a prototype called Across the Universe, and it's a magnetic. And I don't think I have any Beau Rev magnetics, but I liked the color combo for this. So teal and sort of an orangey browny kind of magnetic pull. So I'm excited to see that one in two coats. Next up is Jade. This was from their PBE exclusive collection. There's the Healing Stones collection. This is the only one I got from that collection. And I believe they do have overpours up, or will have overpours up for this. Fauve, hello, welcome. You have so much FOMO. Well, you know, a lot of the exclusives are available after the fact in small quantities on the websites. So if you kind of just keep an eye on the maker websites, you can really snag some good ones. This one is Light My Fire, and this is one of the few that I actually walked in wanting. I was like, yes, I need this. I knew I needed this one. And it's because, of course, it's this lovely blue base, but then this like fantastic glowy orange shimmer that I'm just obsessed with. I really love this combination of like a blue and orange. I really like them together. I believe in you. You can totally conquer your awkwardness and social anxiety because it's just nail nerds. And we're all also, well, not all of us, but a lot of us are also socially awkward and anxious about it. So, okay. Next up, I have Jen & Barry's Driving Hazard. And when I tell you that Jen & Barry's, they got me harder than I ever intended. And I don't even know that I was necessarily planning to go to their booth, per se. But during the meet and greet, they had their polishes out, and I went to their table, and it was bad. This one's called I Knew You Were Gonna Be Trouble. And I think that now sums up my opinion of Jen & Barry's as a brand. That now I know they're gonna be trouble for me. You're starting, I'm sure, to see the trend here. There's an awful lot of teal on this swatch wheel, and it's not going to get less teal. I'm sad to say, this is just what my entire stash looks like. It's so much teal and a little bit of orange. Hey, boss, welcome. And yeah, Mei is right. There's like areas to sort of escape if you need to get away from all the humanness for a little while. And a lot of us do need to get away from the humanness for a little while. It can be a little overwhelming for many of us. This one is I Did It for the D. Like, come on. It's from their... Okay, I have to confess... It's from their Starships collection. I don't know what starship it refers to. I have no idea what starship this refers to. It was half the color, looking at how pretty it was, but it was definitely half the name. I Did It for the D. And I don't know what starship that is, but that's a good name. Yeah, I do need to match my hair. That's exactly right, Mei. If it makes me happy, is it really too much? No. But it is too much for the amount of storage space I have. Okay, so here's what happened at the Jen & Barry's table at the meet and greet. I walked up to the Jen & Barry's table. I saw this beautiful array of polishes, and I saw this one. And I immediately reached over and picked it up and flipped it. The name, y'all. The name. And it's magnetic. Like, shut up. Of course I had to buy it. I clearly have a type. It was just a little bit too ridiculous to not immediately purchase it. So, because I clearly have a type. It's the teals and the magnetics, and if you put a little blue and aqua with a magnetic, then you're gonna get me. God damn it. It did call me out. It totally called me out. Okay, KB Shimmer. We have Husky to thank for the two non-teals that we're about to see. Because I was so freaking done with lines. I was like, I cannot anymore. but I had 2 from KB Shimmer on my list. Husky was in the KB Shimmer line and was like, would you like me to pick you up anything? And I went, oh my God, fuck yes. So that's Glow Getter, which does glow in the dark. I assume it glows green. And then the other one is Prize Possession, which like, it's orange, but it's also got like some pink and green shifty stuff happening with it at certain angles. So I'm very excited to see this one on the nail because I feel like I'm going to really like this one on me. This kind of like shifty, corally, orangey thing I'm usually very happy with. Love me some orange. Okay, let's take that off for the moment. And oh no, we're gonna put it back on because this is the only one I managed to snag from Clean It because they apparently they were missing a box or a shipment, or I don't know, something didn't end up coming in time, and so they were missing not just polish but like a bunch of makeup stuff as well. Which is very, very disappointing, both for the customers and for them, because I know that they fully intended on having a whole lot more stuff with them. But I did manage to snag this one. This is Volt. And this one is very pretty built up. So it doesn't look like much with the first coat on there, but it is going to be gorgeous. Back on the stream with Fuck Yeah. Welcome back, Ashley. Kathleen was another, Kathleen & Co. was another brand that got me more than I planned, but not necessarily more than I expected, because Kathleen & Co. often has stuff that I absolutely adore, and she does, pardon me, she does amazing magnetics. All of her formulas are just really good. This one is a thermal. This is called Way Below the Surface. And I guess we'll just have to try to warm up after it's all, you know, dried, to show you the warm version of it. Although right now it's kind of a little bit in between. It's definitely not all the way in the cold state at the moment because it is freaking hot. And in fact, under these lamps, it might just go to the warm state entirely. Ray, you got your power back. Huzzah. Welcome. Ashley, you finally got a horseshoe magnet. Nice, nice. Okay, next one up is Nautical, and this one I had absolutely no intention of purchasing, but it was there at the meet and greet on the table, and Mia, the owner of Kathleen & Co. was like, oh, that one's a solar, and she knows about me and my teal problem. She's like extremely well aware of my teal problem, and so she was like, you need to look at it. And I mean, like, how are you going to make a solar? It's already really pretty. Like, I love this, like, sea glass sort of look when it's not in the sun. But then, like, to give me... My thing is dying here. There we go. But yeah, it goes this gorgeous teal blue color. And I'm just... Obviously, I had to get it. This one is Thingamabobs. This is Magnetic of the Month. So let's rotate that magnet around. I do not at all remember what this one looks like. Magnetized. Okay, well, it's blue and then pulls the flaky, or pulls the side so to reveal the flaky. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. And then I grabbed one from her new Cars series because it's just such a nice Prugly. I really like it. Very desaturated, sort of olivey, kind of avocado. I'd say maybe actually more avocado, I think is probably more accurate. And then with the green, oh, and I've got a cat hair in there. Perfect. Love that. With the bright, bright green to blue shifting shimmer. Oof. Ray, you missed the Kathleen & Co. booth. Yeah, you're definitely going to need to look at the overpours. Day at the Lake. This one was a PBE exclusive. And this is like super packed reflective. So this one's going to be gritty as fuck, but and thirsty as well, but gorgeous. Beautiful. And then finally this was a gift with purchase from Kathleen & Co., which I did not destash because I do love me a hot pink. And this has like a pink orange shimmer action in it that makes it extra appealing to me. And I think this one also looks like it's got reflective in it as well. Maybe just a smattering. Yeah, I think so. So that's the Kathleen & Co. And then I have 2 Lurids. I was very good. I only bought 2 Lurids. I actually bought, so I was ferrying tried it for science, and picked up the whole, what's the collection called that she launched? Something Girl Summer. I can't remember. Weird Girl Summer, was that what it was? So this one's Reflection of the Sun on Pond Scum. And then the other one I got was Hickory Nut Grove, which is a little bit like Fastback, and I probably didn't need to have both of them, but also I wanted both of them. So, you know, when you want a Prugly green, you want a Prugly green. They're not dupes. They're different. They're different, y'all. Oh gosh, what is the name of that one, the green? I'm gonna need a lot more specificity. Sylvia, I've got a bunch of greens here, my friend. Do you mean this one? This is called Reflection of the Sun on Pond Scum. I'm guessing you might mean this one, but if you mean a different one, then you have to tell me. I agree, Jules. Prugly greens are the best. I love a Prugly green. Really, I love most greens. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and do first coat for the rest of the ones that I purchased, and then we'll do second coat for everything all at once. The green Kathleen & Co. This one here, this Prugly green, if this is the one you mean, from Kathleen & Co. This is called Fastback. And this is part of a collection, a brand new collection that are all inspired by cars. And hello, Katya. Okay. Whew. Moving on. Next up, we are getting into Monarch. So this is the other half of the bestie duo that is Borev and Monarch together. This one's called Poolside Crush. And this is sort of a more minty pastel version of the green with blue shimmer phenomenon that we've seen so much of recently. It's a little different from the other ones that I have. And then Hug a War. Just a beautiful flaky. I feel like Adrienne is starting to embrace flakes in a way that she had not previously so much. She's starting to do these like real packed flakies, with larger flakes, and I'm a big fan. And she's doing a good job with them. I really like them. This one's magnetic. This one is called Siren's Pull. And this was a Flutterby. It's a brand new Flutterby. Or Flutterby. I don't know how she says that. I think of them as Flutterbys because I think of them as being like the opposite of butterflies. So, or mixed up butterflies. It is a little more subtle because it's not like a super high contrast color or tone for the magnetic. Yeah, so it's a blue magnetic pull in a green base. This one is Magic Sky Eraser, which has the purpley sort of lavender base, but then that beautiful turquoise to blue shimmer that I absolutely adore. The next two, or the last two from Monarch, are siblings for... there was Kiss and Tell, and there was... What was the other one? Here they are. Kiss and Tell and Truth or Dare. So these ones... Truth or Dare was a Polish pickup from... Let's see, looks like March of 2024. That actually might have been my first... I think that might have been my first... it was definitely PR polish. I think it might have been the first PR polish I got from them. I can't recall for sure if it was the first or the second. And then Kiss and Tell, they did as a Mix It Monday exclusive. So, and that one's a sibling. And then, so they had two more siblings, Freeze Dance and Scavenger Hunt. So obviously I had to grab those. So, we'll do Freeze Dance first, right? Yeah. Oh, Sonia, you gotta head out? All right. Thanks for coming by. Katya, indeed, why are you? Why are you up at 4 a.m.? That's madness, my friend. Madness. But I'm glad you were up at 4 a.m. because it's always nice to see you at stream. What is the magnetic? The one from Monarch is Siren's Pull. I think you did, in fact, ask me in person. It's a Flutterby. So it's a fairly subtle blue, purple magnetic in the green shimmery... And I don't even know what color the base is. Hard to tell if the base is even tinted or if it's just all shimmer and magnetic pigments. But yeah, that one's more interesting once it's like built up a bit. Okay, this one is Scavenger Hunt. And remember how I was like, I don't need more neons, but apparently I did. But, you know, what are you going to do? Okay, next we're going into the Prism Parades. And Prism Parade actually was my first stop. They were right inside the door. And I, too, like everyone else, was very much planning on running straight to Lurid. But then I got in, and Prism Parade, I knew I wanted to visit there. I knew there were a few I wanted to pick up. She was right there in front of the door. And Jill is a sweetheart. And there was nobody. Everybody had gone right past her. I was like, okay, well, I am definitely visiting this booth. The lineup for Lurid is gonna be the lineup for Lurid. Like, there's only so many people that have VIP. I'll be able to get there. It's fine. So I ended up hitting Prism first and had a lovely little chat with Jill while I was there. She's an absolute darling. And then I actually went to Rogue before I ended up going over to Lurid, but... okay, this one is Hudson. Did not grab enough for size of this thing. And this is another one that's going to have to get built up in a few coats, but gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous polish. I'm like very excited about this one. I was I was obsessing over this. This one was not actually on my radar. This is Audrey. And it wasn't on my radar in part because I was like, oh, it's silver. And I have silver flake toppers and stuff. And I have like hollow polishes and whatever. But this is not either of those. This is very much like it's a full, first of all, it's not actually silver. It's like, I don't know, more like, it's slightly too warm to be silver, and it is absolutely not a topper. It is a full coverage polish, and it definitely has like a bunch of silver reflective in it. And I think there might be a little bit of hollow in it. I'm not really sure. It's hard to tell for sure. I think there's a bit of hollow in it. But it's definitely like mostly just silver metallic and reflective glitter. And it just builds up beautifully, and actually not silver, but like, I don't know, platinum maybe-ish. It's just a little bit warm. But yeah, gorgeous. It builds up so beautifully. It was totally not on my radar until I saw it at the meet and greet. Next one up is Poolside, and I think, so this one was from their, what was that collection that was all like motel, like road trip theming? Very like sort of a little bit retro. Anyway, just a cute. It's one of those polishes I have a hard time saying no to, you know? I'm such a sucker for this kind of color. And then I also had to get Paloma Sunset because I do love a coral moment, and it's just a real pretty one. And it goes so nicely with Poolside. So, and both of these are going to have to, like, I would definitely wear both of these in 3 coats for sure. All right, next up, this one is the only reason I went to the Rogue, the only reason I planned to go to the Rogue table, and then at the meet and greet, I saw a bunch of other stuff on their table and went, well, fuck. So Rogue got me more, yeah, it is pewterish. That's right, Sylvia. But yeah, this one was the collab with Lacquerdactyl, Chris. I'm gonna fuck up his last name, Scabby Chris. Love him to death. And adore his taste in polish, and he also loves a prugly moment. So he and Rogue made this gorgeous, prugly, flaky mess called It's Still Fine. What are we saying, Route 66? Oh, that might be maybe the name of the collection? I don't know. I don't remember. Okay, and then this one, again, not on my radar at all. I am mostly not into multichromes because I kind of feel like I've seen them all. There's a limited number of multichrome pigments, and there's only so much you can do with multichromes, and, so if you have the reflective multichrome and the multichrome with flakes and the multichrome with hollow, you've kind of got all the multichromes. But this one, the owner of Rogue, it turns out, is actually an evil genius, and she made it kind of pastel. She literally added white pigment, and it totally changes the vibe of it. It is going to need a second coat to build up, and I'm afraid that you're not going to be able to fully appreciate the shifts in this lighting, unfortunately. But like, it's real shifty. And it's real weird to look at, and I fucking love it. And it's different from other multichromes that I have owned. Yes, I also love Lacquerdactyl. This one is Bean Me Up, like the bean, which I saw on their meet and greet table as well, and went, yeah, I need that. Obviously, I need that. Of course I need that. Don't be ridiculous. And that one, I'm going to go right ahead and immediately put black under a portion of it, because this one is 100% going to be spectacular over black. See this? You see this? So pretty. Also gorgeous on its own, but yes, love it over black. Okay. Next is Mash and Grab. So this was that one of the slushies? Now I can't remember. They had these slushies that are like real cute. Or maybe this one was the gift with purchase, actually. This one might have been the gift with purchase. I think I ended up skipping the slushies, now that I think of it. I was going to get them, and then I think I ended up skipping them because it was just too much. This one I think must have been the gift with purchase. It's definitely purpler than I would have ever purchased, more, at least most likely. But it's still cute, and I like the flakes in it. The next one is Bumble, and this was actually from last Christmas. It was part of their holiday collection, but and I just somehow had never seen it. But I really like the color. I really like the frostiness of it. I love this kind of shimmer so much. And it's named Bumble. And Bumble is my favorite. I love him. So I had to get it. You know how it is. Really pretty. And like almost completely opaque in one coat. Like it's, you could probably, if you're like more careful about application than I am, you could probably just wear it in one coat. But I am not that careful, especially not on swatch wheels. I suck at it. Yeah, I think you're right, Ray. I think Mash and Grab was a gift with purchase. It does look beetly. And yes, Beam Me Up is amazing. I also beelined to that polish. I was like, fuck yeah, I need that. This one is Chi-Town Blues from Sassy Sauce. Wait, was it the KB Shimmer or was it the Sassy Sauce that Husky? Now I'm doubting myself. Was it KB Shimmer or was it Sassy Sauce that Husky grabbed for me? Oh my god, I've got a hair in here. Maybe somebody else grabbed me one of them. I can't remember. I think somebody grabbed the Sassy Sauce for me and somebody grabbed the KB Shimmer for me, because I think I was completely done by the time I got to either of those tables. And now I don't remember which one's which. But yeah, that one was one of the exclusives. And then I had to pick up LSD. Which is just, I mean, it is sort of more intended as a topper. But ever since I first saw this one, I've been thinking about the possibilities for shimmer stamp-wiches. And I am excited that I now own it. This is one of those, like, I didn't want to, place an order for just like one or two polishes unless I'm also getting other stuff. Which with Sassy Sauce, I've just kind of been waiting for my caviar to run out. But yeah, you can see it's like shifty green and blue when it's over a dark color, but then you've also got like the pinks and stuff when it's over a lighter color. So it's just a real pretty one. Tyler's Trinkets. We're finishing up with Tyler's Trinkets. And this one, I broke my rule and got mystery. But it was a real cheap mystery. And I was like, it's Tyler's Trinkets, so the formula is going to be decent. It's magnetic, so there's a very good chance that I'm going to enjoy playing with it. And I think it was like $4 or something. It was dirt cheap. I was like, yeah, okay, we're just going to go ahead and try it out. And it looked, oh geez, in a different angle here. It looked quite intriguing, in the bottle. So I do not think that I'm going to be upset about having purchased this one. So it's got like a black or blackened brown maybe base. It's definitely got some green shimmer in there. And then like a red, purple, orange, something kind of magnetic pull. Kind of fun. Interested to see what it looks like on my nails. Fire Opal was my big, like, I absolutely need to have this from Tyler's Trinkets. It looks so freaking juicy. You know, notice that when I stray away from my blues and teals and greens, it is almost exclusively for oranges and corals. It's a thing, y'all. And then I had to grab the Bottled Rainbows, which is a holographic that I think what he's done is he's got like a variety of different sizes and shapes of small hollow glitters in here. And so they combine to make a super sparkly hollow. Tyler is very sweet. I really like him. Kat, we went very different on Rogue. You got slushies and one green metallic. 0% surprised. I really liked some of the slushies. I just was like, I need to... That was my second table that I went to, and I knew that I had so many tables I wanted to go to, and I didn't want to just sort of blow my load all on the second table. So I was like, you know, we'll see how I'm feeling when I get toward the end. Okay, so let's go through for a second coat on everything. We are at 9:30. So we're doing okay for time. So Flip Flop Fever, going back to the Beau Rev half of the Beau Rev and Monarch bestie duo. I'm interested to see what this looks like actually on me, because I'm not sure if the It's Too Purpley for me base is going to win, or the ooh, I like the orangey goldy shimmer is going to win. I do actually think I want to put a black underneath this one just to see what it's going to look like. Yeah, so that brings out the green and gold in the shimmer a bit more. That could be a fun shimmer stamp witch polish for sure. And then Ocean Eyes. Had not planned on buying this. Took one look at it and went, yep, you're mine. Coming home with me. Just a real pretty shifty-ish. It's lightly shifty. It goes from blue to turquoise. With the hollow flake, I'm always a fan of that. Across the Universe, this was one of the prototypes. And this one is one that I would probably wear in 3 coats. But I'm very excited to wear this one. I have a couple of other magnetics that are like blue and red, but this one is definitely more blue and orange / coppery looking. Like more like tealy blue rather than like a straight blue. So it's a little different from the other sort of on paper similar magnetics that I have. So I think it's gonna prove to be pretty unique in my collection so far. This one is Jade. This was one of the Healing Gemstones or whatever it was called exclusives. Ugh, come on, get there. And then Light My Fire, which was one of the ones that I went to the booth specifically for. I had this one on my wish list. And this is one I am also excited to shimmer stamp witch. And I will show you why in a moment. Now, normally when I shimmer stamp witch, the the black is only under 1 layer rather than under 2 layers, so it's not going to be quite the same here, but it at least kind of gives an idea. But I already know ahead of time that this is going to be perfect for shimmer stamp witches. You see? See that contrast? That is a perfect shimmer stamp witch polish right there. That's what I look for. So that, as soon as I saw this polish, I was like, oh, that's a shimmer stamp witch polish. We're getting that. All right. Back to Jen and Berries. We got Driving Hazard. And this is just a ridiculously pretty green base, blue shimmer, hollow flake. Kind of has sort of Lion Cousin vibes. But I think I like it better than any of the Lion Cousins that had there were some that had like, no, I don't think it was a blue shimmer. It was like a green and something shimmer. I knew you were going to be trouble. This one is very like frosty, sea glassy kind of vibes, which I really like. I want to play with this one matte. I did it for the D, which just makes me really happy. Look, I am a simple woman. I like a silly dick joke, okay? I like a dick joke. I like a penis joke. I like a boob joke. I like a butt joke. I like a fart joke. I'm easy to please, okay? And I'm not ashamed of it. This one is I Clearly Have a Type, which I had to get because I clearly have a type. They called me on it, and they weren't wrong. Ray got which one? Yeah, Ray and I have similar taste in teals. Which one did Ray get? I knew you were going to be trouble from the start, or whatever it's called. Or I knew you were going to be trouble. Driving Hazard. Okay, here's Glow Getter, and this one, again, it glows in the dark, I think, green. I liked it. It's bright, it's fun, it's flaky. Driving Hazard and Trouble, you got both? Not a surprise. Oh, thanks for coming by. It was a delight. Hey, anybody who is not already a regular, guess what I'm going to be playing with on next week's stream? I got those Van Goghs that I swatched out. And that's going to be the next stream next week. So y'all going to have to come and play with those with me. I got them all set aside and ready to play with some more. We'll do some more nail art. Sassy, yoga's done. Good job. Way to take care of yourself. Couldn't be me. Speaking of taking care of yourself, I should get a drink of water. I'm starting to feel real thirsty. So this one is the second coat of Kleina Volt. You're regular but not regular? You're irregularly regular. My dudes, I am so thirsty. Okay. Listen, I am sincerely happy that you are taking care of yourself. It is good. I am proud of you for taking care of yourself, genuinely. But also, I don't do that. I'm sorry, man. This is me. Okay. Am I gonna recreate a Van Gogh on my nails? I already recreated... Shit, how many are in that collection? However many polishes are in that collection, I've already recreated that many Van Goghs on my nails. However, and you can see those swatches on Fauve's Instagram. Every single mani that I did one nail where I took a little piece of a Van Gogh painting and recreated it to the best of my ability, using only the polishes in that collection. And I think I used a little bit of white and black underneath those polishes to just like give a little extra, just in a few little spots to give a little extra depth and contrast. But yeah, but we'll do something using probably the whole collection. Okay, next up is Way Below the Surface from Kathleen & Co. And again, this one is a thermal, which is real hard to show. It's so hot. I'm like sweating here under these lights. It's really hot in my studio right now. But yeah. I will try to show you the actually all the way warm when it's dry. But it's kind of doing an in-between thing right now. Like right now it's in the cold state because it's evaporating. But in the bottle at the moment, it's very slightly leaning in the middle. Okay. And then this one is another magnetic. The boys have been fed. You have pizza. Ashley, you jealous again. Don't do that. Just join me. Join me with painting Van Gogh on your nails. It's good. I should really just get the Kathleen & Co. Magnetic of the Month more often because I really, really like them so often. But also, I'm trying so hard not to buy nail polish too much. And it's really difficult. Let's go ahead and encapsulate that cat hair. That's the second coat of Fastback. And then second coat of Day at the Lake. We're a little bit off screen here. Hang on, I'll show you better once I can move that magnetic. Sounds like a cult. It's a good cult. It's the best kind of cult. Painting Van Gogh on your nails? Who doesn't love that shit? It's a good cult. There's no weird sex stuff in it unless you want there to be. It's ideal. Okay, and then the Kathleen & Co. gift with purchase, 1975. I don't know if she's going to have... I assume she's probably going to have some of these if she didn't run out. She may have them available on her website. I don't know. I'm not sure if she ran out of the gift with purchase. But I really like it. I think it's just super pretty. I don't always go for a hot pink, but when I like a hot pink, boy do I like a hot pink. Okay, next up is second coat of Lurid Lacquer, Reflection of the Sun in Pond Scum, which is just such a good fucking name. It's such a good name, y'all. And obviously, I'm obsessed. It's green, it's blue, it's turquoise, it's sparkly. Oh, and there's that that solar for the nautical from Kathleen & Co. Obviously, using a UV torch is going to give you slightly more like exaggerated, usually gives you a more exaggerated solar effect than the actual sun does, unless you're like literally at the equator, on a mountain, on a clear day. But you know, at least gives you an idea. Hickory Nut Grove from Lurid. So those are my only 2 Lurid purchases. I kept like picking up other Lurids and being like, ooh, what's this? And realizing that I already had them. so that saved me a lot at the Lurid booth, that I already had spent that money. Is that saving me? I'm not sure. Unclear. Anyway. So that's 2 coats of the first 20 of my the PBE purchases. And then you can't resist a hot pink, Sylvia. I am picky about a hot pink, but yeah, when I love them, I love them. Okay, and then Monarch's half of the Bestie duo here is Poolside Crush. And I think, not sure if this one's going to be one that I will like in 2 or if I'm going to want a 3rd coat of it. I'll have to see on my nails. I have a feeling I might want a 3rd coat of this one. It's like most of the way opaque, but it's in that color range where I especially hate seeing VNL. So I don't know. Maybe it'll be good in 2. It looks pretty darned opaque in 2, I'll tell you that much. So could be a 2-coater for me. We'll see. Can be hard to tell without getting it actually on your nails. And then Huggo War, little flaky bomb. This one could also just be a very dense topper. But I feel like it's one of those ones where like I would probably do 1 or 2 coats and then sponge on a final coat to try and get more flaky density without too much more thickness. I feel like the lighting here is not super optimal for how shifty this is, but this one is Siren's Pull. This is the more subtle magnetic that's got the green shimmer and then that blue to purple shifting magnetic pigment. I feel like this one is going to be best in like velvet and the spinning bead style thing that people have started doing recently. I think it's going to be really good in those kinds of styles more than in the cat eye. You just sponged on your first glitter polish. It was amazing, sharing in the Discord. I shall have to go take a look at that, Ashley. Sponging on glitters really does make everything so much better. If you want full coverage, it is absolutely the way to go. I don't do it often, but yeah, I know it's not your first glitter polish. You've for sure had tons of glitter polish, but the sponging changes everything. It is really good if you don't want super thick base. So here's my second coat of Freeze Dance. This is the first of the 2 new siblings for Scavenger Hunt and Kiss and Tell. And I tell you what, she better stop this this particular little mini collection soon, because I don't know, now that I have 4 different colors in this collection, I don't know if I can stop myself from buying any others that she comes out with. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's just like you have so many of them that you're like, well, now I have to get the rest. it's a problem for some of us. Yeah, Jules, there's been a thing on, I don't know what people are calling it, but there's been a thing on Reddit lately where they're basically taking the velvet magnets and spinning them. So you take like a horseshoe magnet and put it either above or below your finger, depending on what kind of rig you have set up. Most people are rigging them to be above, and have it spin as it magnetizes. And it gives a little bit more dynamic. It's not a like massive difference. On some people, it sort of depends. The higher contrast the magnetic and the more like long and curved the nail is, the more sort of spectacular the difference is between that and regular velvet. But yes, May completion syndrome. But like, as an example, I threw together a prototype for myself to play with. So basically, the horseshoe spins. Now mine is fully manual. Some people have hooked these up to motors, which I think is a terrible idea. I do not recommend hooking this up to a motor for so many reasons. But yeah, this was my initial prototype, and you basically, get your finger in at a point where it's not gonna hit the horseshoe, and it just gives a little different look, and it's quite lovely. Yeah, gotta catch 'em all syndrome. I will have that problem if she comes out with more colors of this glitter formula. Even though, as I have said, I often do not love, and I said this right at the beginning when I was talking about that glisten and glow polish. I don't usually love like hex glitters and stuff. I don't love big glitters in a acrylic base as a general rule. These ones, I mean, there are some, I think it's like round and square rather than hex. But normally those would be included in that. But for certain ones, sometimes it works for me, which is why I did not immediately destash that glisten and glow one, because I was like, well, every once in a while, if I like the rest of the polish enough, I'm willing to put up with the glitters, or like I don't mind the glitters in that context. But yeah, turns out I hate that one. Okay, so this is Prism Parade Hudson. And this is one I'm probably going to put in 3 coats because I think I really want to build that shimmer up. But I really love the color of this. I just think it's beautiful. And it's got just a little smattering of reflective in it, the really fine reflective. So it's just a hint of extra sparkle. I will definitely, Sylvia, I will definitely demo it at some point in time. Jules, you need to go to Reddit and look at all the crazy contraptions people have come up with. Some of them are brilliant. Some of them are downright dangerous. And mine is very sedate. I'm gonna see if I can get my stepdaughter to 3D print me a replacement for the like holder, which is currently a gelato container. Once I'm sort of worked out all the details, I have to take some measurements and stuff and make sure I'm happy with the overall design before I go to that next step, because I want it to be a one and done. I don't want to waste time and plastic and money printing if I'm not 100% certain of how I want it to be. That's the second coat of Audrey from Prism Parade, which is just beautiful. It probably looks like it's just silver on the screen, but I promise it's not. It's definitely like a little bit warm. And then Poolside, also from Prism Parade, second coat. More of a sort of translucent fairy vibes for this one. You own that brand of gelato? Of course you do, May May. Everyone does, and everyone keeps those tubs. because they're handy little tubs. They're a really good size. Not everyone keeps as many of them as my husband did, though. When I first moved in with him, I was like, why are there literally over 100 gelato tubs? Mostly stacked up unused, just in case. Just in case he needed them someday in the basement. Just a massive fucking stack of the things. He had a pyramid. A giant pyramid that covered at most of the top of the dryer. As well, and that was just the empty ones. There was also a whole bunch of other ones that were actually full of, like, you know, spare nuts and bolts and doodads. Okay, and then back to Rogue. This is the Lacquerdactyl collab one, which, I'm so glad I managed to get a bottle of this. I don't know how many of them she made, but yeah, fully obsessed. I love this so much. I love it so much. It's like, it's such a perfect combination of colors. The orange, I don't know if you can see, yeah, you can see a little bit the orange in the flakes when the light hits it just right. That to me is like, it's just, it puts it over the edge from like, ooh, nice, to, oh yes, must have. Yeah, our parents saved glass jars. We saved gelato containers. Exactly. Yeah, my mom's mason jar collection for a while was pretty wild, but she did do home canning, so you know it made sense for her to save those. I didn't make Brian throw out all of the gelato containers, but I did require that he pare it down a little bit to a more reasonable collection size. We still have a ton of empty gelato containers, as well as the ones that are in use. I just don't think we need to have 100 unused gelato containers in the basement, taking up a ridiculous amount of space. That the Breakfast Club, it seems to be showing mostly the more olivey and gray tones on stream here. It's showing more the desaturated parts of it. It has a very strong, like, green and teal shift when the light hits it correctly. It's just not, it's real hard to catch it. You can see a little bit on the edges when it's turned this way. I think you can see a little of the green, the more like emeraldy kind of green. But yeah, it's a real pretty one. I'm gonna have to get photos of that that actually show those shifts, because the lighting setup for the live streams is extremely not optimized for that. Okay, second coat of Bean Me Up. Bean like the bean in Chicago. Real cute. Could be a topper. Could do a full coverage if you wanted to do a third coat of that. But I think it's also just a nice topper. And this is the Rogue Gift with Purchase Mash and Grab. Rogue does quite a good Crelly Flaky, as it turns out. Pretty good. Nice formula. How dare I get rid of his collection? Listen, I did not get rid of anything. I suggested that perhaps it would be more reasonable if we just pared it down a little bit. And I did the same thing with the collection of takeout containers that was overflowing the cabinets. Because I just think that, you know, a certain number of those is useful to have. And once you get past a certain number, it's no longer useful. It becomes a burden. It's taking up space that could be used for, I don't know, like dishes and food. Okay, that one was Bumble. She did a terrible job applying for the second coat, but absolutely in love with that one. Really cute. And then we get into Sassy Sauce, Chi-Town Blues. You know, listen, I'm going to have to swatch this one next to the 2 or 3 polishes that I have that I think are probably identical to it. Actually, I destashed one to my mom. Not really so much destash as I sent it to her after she demanded that she needed one of them. In one of my live streams, I was like, okay, Mom, I've got like 3 of these. Different brands, functionally identical, and I think I've just purchased another one. I'm fairly certain that if I put this next to the other ones, it's going to be functionally identical. But you know what? I'm not mad. Second coat of Sassy Sauce LSD. I kind of want to see what that one will look like actually as just a full mani in 3 coats. If it's going to end up just looking too yellowy on me. Or if I'm going to mostly topper it. We shall see. Can I come do that to your collection of boxes and jars? No. I mean, I can suggest that you throw them out. I can point out to you the ridiculousness of your situation, but I'm not going to do the physical work. I don't throw away other people's things. I just point out to them that maybe they could stand to have fewer of them. I did not get them yet, Ashley. I think last I checked, it was saying that they were supposed to arrive on Saturday. I got a couple of polishes from Ashley's destash because I don't have enough polish. So I was like, oh, Ashley's getting rid of a couple. I should grab those. That'll help with my not having enough polish problem. I didn't say while I was swatching it, but that is one of the magnetic prototypes from Tyler's Trinkets. Prototype 0328. And then also from Tyler's Trinkets, I'm doing the second coat of Fire Opal, which this one I think is definitely going to be one that I'm going to want to build up in 3 coats for that like full juicy glory, because it's got these beautiful flakes in it that like I know that flakes in jelly like this, I'm 100% going to be happiest if I just do it in 3 coats, because it's just going to be so fucking juicy. It really reminds me of like just, it's fully like Orange Julius bullshit. And then this is the last one. This is Tyler's Trinkets Bottled Rainbows, which I suppose you could use as a topper, but why would you when it is in fact so good at being a full coverage hollow bomb? There we go. That's 2 coats of it right there, and it's already pretty close to fully opaque. Just a bare hint of VNL there. So that's the second coat of all of those babies. So I didn't only buy teal. I would like to point out, I did not only buy teal. Tyler's Trinkets has been tempting you. Yeah, Tyler's such a sweetheart. And so far, I have very much enjoyed every polish that I have gotten from him. I got the, I don't have a ton, but I got the Drag Queen Candy Shop ones last summer. So I got all but the purple from that collection. And I have actually he did a collab with Atticus. Atticus Loves Lacquer. Those I did as, I got those as PR, that duo. Plus, he also sent at the same time, there was his very first, I think it was his very first PPU polish, Bougie Boo, which is really cute. Yeah, those were all really nice. And I have another one that's like a flaky, crelly, something about candles or fireside cuddle, fireside, something like that. Yeah, that's a cute one. It's like a gray with with little like coppery flakes in it, if I recall correctly. Yeah, he does really cute, nerdy earrings as well, among other things. Got cute little like 3D printed doodads and whatnot. So, yeah. Okay, so my purchases here. Let me move. Let me move these polishes down. I'm not going to pull all of them down. I'm just going to give myself a little bit more space here. So those are the purchases. And yes, there is absolutely a theme. I did go pretty hard on the teals, but you know, I wouldn't be me if I didn't. And it's not 100% teals, so I'm proud of myself for straying slightly. And then here's the VIP bag. Now that I have seen them swatched out on the wheel, there's a couple I'm probably gonna, well, a couple that I'm definitely gonna destash, a couple others that I want to see on my actual nails first before I make a final decision on. But definitely some that will be keeping and becoming part of my permanent collection. So pretty stoked about that. Oh, May, he'll restock those for sure. And especially if you like let him know, just like if there's one that you want to get in particular, just like DM him or something and let him know, because I'm sure he'll bring them back for sure. I got from him a pair of lightsaber earrings for Rachel. They're like I think they're like glow in the dark or blacklight reactive for the actual lightsaber part of it. Plus Life Lacquer, Tyler's Trinkets, and BCB are 3 brands you want to try. Those are all excellent choices. Yeah. I really like a lot of Plus Life Lacquer's stuff. I don't have a ton, but the owner is also super nice. And of course, y'all know I love Brittany. And I love her polish. She does really good flakies in crellies. Big fan. All right. Look at that. It's 10 o'clock. We managed to do everything in just 3 hours. In 2 hours. Jesus. Managed to do everything in just 2 hours. I'm personally surprised and pleased. And yeah, when I have so much stuff set aside that I need to destash, Sassy, and there's so much purple in it. You know what I need to do is I need to just spread out all my destash. Just pour it out on the floor and take a picture of it and send it directly to you, Marie. And then, and then whatever you don't get, I'll put out to destash for everybody else. How about that? Sassy Dog Mom gets first dibs on my purple destash. May, you also will be an early destash. All right, y'all. So next week we're gonna do Fauve Van Gogh collection. So that's the Van Gogh 1. There is a Van Gogh 2. I think it's the Van Gogh 1 that I have. Don't ask me hard questions. But yeah, it's all stuff that's out and available, and has been for a little bit, and there's tons of swatches out there, but we're gonna go ahead and play with it anyway and do some nail art. And so that should be a good time. So that's next week. The week after might be all about magnets. We might be doing a magnet stream the week after. Because I have a contraption that some of you may have seen on Instagram called the nail thing. that I need to play with on a stream, and I haven't really had time to like sit down and mess with it, but I feel like I can just sit down and mess with it on the stream. It's not like super complicated to play with, so I feel like I can just, you know, go through it on the stream itself and do the whole learning process live with everybody. Sylvia, you love purples, but you're poor. Yeah, felt. Yeah. So that's it. That's all. Let's, Jammy left again. She went down to her other, hang on. We're going to close out with some Jammy Dodgers. Let me switch you over to the Cats Up display. You saw someone use that contraption on Instagram, but you don't remember who? Yeah, there's the company just started very, very recently and has sent out a couple of PR packages. I purchased mine, but I think they threw in a couple of extra things that may not come with the base, you know, kit that you get. I'm not entirely clear on it because they didn't actually even have their store open, so I literally just like PayPal'd them some money for the thing. But yeah, you bought the balloon dog magnet from HHC. That one was real tempting because it's cute, but I already have a magnet that is the same shape, just like the magnet arrangement is the same. It's just not as adorable. So I did skip it. But yeah, everybody say goodnight to Jammy Dodgers. What magnet doohickey are we talking about? We're talking about the nail thing, which is like, hang on, let's do, it's this. It's like a kit that comes with a bunch of stuff. It's all 3D printed and shit. But yeah, I'll play with that probably the week after next, I think is what's gonna happen. See? These like have little pegs and shit. We'll go through a whole thing. Oh my god. I'm gonna immediately fuck myself up. It's a good thing I didn't do my nails today. I mean, I did, but only not during the stream. Cat's up. There we go. All right. Good night, everybody. Say good night, Jammy. Don't worry, you'll see the magnet stuff. 2 weeks, okay? 2 weeks. Next week, Fauve Van Gogh. Week after, magnet shit. And we'll play with my weird-ass spinny prototype, too. Among other things. All right? Good night, everybody. Goodbye.